Hello and welcome to Dive Bar Comedy, episode 26. What's up?
Hey, what up, Wild Joe? What's going on?
I'm here with GT, and we are celebrating our 6-month anniversary of this podcast. Thank you, listeners.
Yeah, Dive Bar Comedy Podcast gets a lot of listeners, and I'm really excited. I'm happy that people are listening to this podcast and they actually care what we have to say.
Yeah, it's not just us. We've had so many amazing guests, so many great comics during these 6 months. Some that just came on one episode and several that were on every time. And then, of course, our host, Mista See.
Yeah, a lot of people compliment about Mista See. They say he's a great host. He's a natural, and show after show, people, at least I get 2 or 3 compliments about him.
Yeah, he's quick on his feet. He's able to come up with a lot of funny things to say in between the comics about their sets. He pays attention to what's going on and listens to their jokes. He does say some offensive things sometimes, but I guess that's what you get, right?
Yeah, he likes to get sometimes racist. He keeps mentioning how I'm Armenian, how I'm running the show, how I'm collecting the money, saving all the money, and how I'm doing this, how I'm doing that, and how I'm taking people's money, and how only an Armenian would do something like that.
Really? When did he say all that? I missed that.
He's always saying it on stage. And then he calls me like the mob, the gangster, or something like that, which I'm not.
Yeah, and then he's commenting also on the females. He's always talking about the women being hot and, fuckable and that kind of thing, which I don't think they all appreciate since they're there trying to do their job as comics.
Yeah, Mista See, he could get racist sometimes. And, he keeps blaming white people for being racist, but I think he gets racist as well himself.
Yep. I guess I would never be able to get away with doing all those racial jokes because I'm white, but being black, he can kind of get away with a lot more.
Yeah. I think some blacks do get an easy pass.
I happen to work for a black lady right now, and she told me a story that happened to her last weekend where she got pulled over in her own driveway, as she pulled into her driveway for having a tail light out. And when she was asking why they pulled her over and didn't immediately jump out of her car, they forced her to get out of her car. They pulled her out of her car, and she has bruises and stuff. And then they even brought her to jail for being uncooperative when all she had was a broken taillight.
That happened to her?
Yeah, happened to her on MLK weekend.
Just last weekend?
Yeah, and she just told me about it today. She had to bail herself out of jail, so she had to spend money just to be able to go home, or else she would have had to stay in jail the whole weekend. And she thinks it's racial profiling. It was 8 cops against her.
So the cops try to ask for her ID and driver's license, and she wouldn't cooperate. Is that what happened?
I think they asked her to. I think she did give the driver's license, but they asked her to step out of the car, and she was asking questions like why and what did I do and that kind of thing, and they didn't like the way she was talking back.
Yeah, same thing happened to me, kind of. When my on my driver's license is a different address than my parents' address, and the cops one day, the cops said you look out of place, and because I was going towards a van in the morning, and they stopped. I was looking at the cops because they were driving by. I'm all like, I hardly ever see cops around here. It must be something wrong. And they looked at me, and I looked at them, and they're like, hey, you look kind of out of place, and why are you going inside your van? Let me see your ID. And then I'm all like, this is my parents' house. They didn't believe it, and then they handcuffed me, put me on the grass in front of my parents' house, and then the cops were And then my dad came out. He said he's my son, and he stays here sometimes. And they told him to go back inside the house, and they handcuffed him. And they handcuffed me. And then while the other cop was telling me, hey, it's a beautiful day, isn't it? What do you think about this day? While the other cop is just has me on the grass, and people are staring at me, shaking their heads. I always knew this guy was not right. I was like, kind of look. And there was one guy actually who gave me that kind of look. And people, it's kind of embarrassing when people handcuff you in front of your house. And it wasn't good at all. And then they eventually let me go. And it was, when you have your dad come out and say, hey, he's my son, and they leave him alone, and they still want to call in and do their thing and not let you go. It's kind of odd.
It's also odd that they're saying it's a beautiful day. Who are they saying that to? Like one cop to the other cop, like just chit-chatting as they roughed you up, or were they saying that to you, like to make fun of you or something?
To me, they were telling it to me, like, hey, like, don't worry or something. But it wasn't,
Was the grass dry or wet?
It was dry, but I did. Eventually, one day, my sister was throwing a party, and the same cop came around, and he goes, "Do you remember me?" I go, "I think so. I think, aren't you the cop that handcuffed me and put me in the grass right here?" And he goes, "Yeah." I'm all like, "That wasn't cool, dude." And then he's all like, "Please don't report me." And then I said, "Whatever." But then I did. Actually, a year later after that, I did report him, because I told I went to internal affairs. I'm like, this cop pulled me over. No, I mean, like, put me on the grass for no reason. And then it was just because I look out of place, and then my dad came out of, and then said, hey, he's my son, and they still kept on, doing the same thing. But it was the same cop that harassed me down the street. Like, 10 a mile from here. He just pulled me over because I had dealer plates on in my car, and then he didn't like the dealer plates, and it was the same guy. And then he supposedly doesn't like that, and he was going through my car looking for drugs, and he kept on looking. He goes, "Why are you nervous?" I'm like, "I'm just nervous. I don't know. You're a cop." But he kept on, "Whoa, you must have drugs in here." So he kept on looking. "Where's the drugs? Where's the drugs? Where's the stuff? Where's the stuff?" And I don't know. "Where's something illegal?" I'm like, "Dude, why are you nervous?" I'm all like, "Dude, nothing." And then he would, like, this was when it was Circuit City on Sunset. And then he was just still sticking around just so I would go the opposite direction in the parking lot where the arrows are. So he'll pull me over, give me a ticket for that. So he's the same cop. But I did report to Internal Affairs, and then Internal Affairs, I think, had a talk with him. Internal Affairs checked the records, and they said, yeah, it's the same cop that pulled you over and then came and harassed you in front of your house. And it was a bunch of, I did go to LAPD, and he did get investigated.
Well, for those who don't know you that well, GT drives a creepy white van, like the kind that you don't even want to park next to in a parking lot, a child molester van. So part of it might not be racial profiling. It might be white van profiling.
Well, it's a cargo van, just because I have a cargo van, it doesn't mean I'm going to rob someone's house or burglarize someone's house or try to attempt to pull you in my van and rape you and take you and kill you and bury you someplace. I'm not going to be doing none of that shit.
Thanks for clearing that up, GT. Yeah, my dad, I mean, it's not always racial profiling. My dad got kicked in the balls by a group of 8 cops and tased in his 60s in his own front yard because somebody called the cops on him. He was having an argument, and when he heard the cops were coming, he was drunk. He ran out to the backyard and hid. So he was probably being shady coming out of the bushes or whatever, but they didn't need to tase him and kick him in the nuts. I don't know, even in professional boxing and even extreme sports and whatever, they always have the nuts as an off limits area. So you would think that cops would be trained, don't kick people in the balls, but that's what they did. And then they took him to jail to spend the night, and he was in there complaining, "Oh, my nuts, my nuts." And they wouldn't let him see a nurse or a doctor, and he ended up losing one of his balls. He lost his testicle. So, and then when he tried to get a lawyer or somebody to do something about it, they said, "Hey, there were 8 cops there. They're going to just corroborate each other's story, and you don't stand a chance because they're all going to like have each other's back."
Well, LAPD gets sued all the time, no matter how many cops there are. So LAPD is always dishing out millions of dollars left and right, left and right, left and right. It all comes down to the lawyer. You need to hire the right lawyer.
And yeah, not everybody's tried to put a complaint against the police, but I guess GT knows where to go. Internal affairs, huh? Internal affairs. So GT has found the right office to place your complaint, and cops do have a badge number. So
every time you actually take a glimpse at their badge number, they get more and more aggressive, and they try to stare you down. So if you just take a look at their name, they're always watching your face. If you just take a look at their name or badge number, or trying to look at their badge, they right away they get aggressive and more defensive.
yeah, people think, oh, if you're white or if you're a girl, female, you're never gonna get harassed by cops. And true, maybe I don't feel as afraid of cops, but I'm always very careful if I get pulled over to keep both hands on the wheel, just answer the questions, and don't make any sudden moves. But out of maybe the 10 times I've been pulled over, I think I got out of a ticket twice. And the other tickets I got were all really stupid. Almost all of them were so stupid. Like, "Oh, you didn't stop at that stop sign." "I did stop at the stop sign." "Oh, you didn't stop all the way." "Well, I think I stopped all the way." Anyway, but yeah, I've gotten some really stupid tickets for petty little things. And they don't give me any break for being female. If anything, they're meaner to me, I think.
Yeah, sorry to hear that. Bums me out. You know, when I get pulled over, cops are I've seen cops like really get like, I think they're like, they have their hand on the gun, like, because I have a shaved head. When you have a shaved head and you kind of have a kind of like an odd look, they're like afraid that you're gonna shoot them or something. They're afraid of their lives, and they could easily get gun happy. You know what I mean? Is that the right way of saying it? So they could get gun happy and just shoot you right away because they think you're reaching out to something, and which you're not. And that's what happens to a lot of blacks.
Yeah, I would say no matter what happens, if you get pulled over, whatever your race is, don't make any sudden moves. Just keep your hands in plain sight, because the cops are worried about themselves, and they are trained to diffuse any threats. A friend of mine went through training for criminal justice, and she saw how the cops were trained, and they're basically looking out for threats. So if they perceive a threat, then they will shoot, and they're trained to shoot to kill. They don't try to just shoot your hand or shoot your arm or something. So yeah, a lot of times people blame everything on the cops when the person is being belligerent or acting crazy or waving their hands all around or even attacking the cop or talking shit. And any of those things, no matter what race you are or what sex you are going to put yourself at risk. So it's best to just keep your hands visible, follow their verbal commands, and if they're doing things you think are unfair, you can argue about it later.
Yeah. just say yes sir, yes ma'am, yes sir, yes sir, yes sir, yes ma'am, yes sir, yes sir, yes ma'am, yes officer, yes officer. Hopefully they'll go away.
All right. I think the tone of this has gotten so serious because we're all bummed out by cops. I just want everybody listening to know that we appreciate cops. They do a hard job, but a lot of times it comes out seeming unfair to just random people that get pulled over or whatever. And we just want you guys to all stay safe. So, attention all drinkers. Attention all drinkers. Do you like a smooth tasting vodka that goes down with no burn? How about Global Vodka, straight from Italy? Check it out. You can find it at global-vodka.com. Not only does it have a smooth, great taste, it also is gluten-free and organic for you health nuts. So try Global Vodka. You can find it at global-vodka.com, or next time you're in LA, check it out at Universal Bar and Grill.
Thanks for coming out to our shows. It's been fun. Our shows are becoming more and more successful. Our next show is at Universal Bar and Grill, January 30th. Starts 8 p.m. Modules get on stage at 8 p.m. and then the comics start at 9. So show up, check out the Modules. They're a cover band. They do mostly cover songs of the 80s and 90s, mostly modern rock. And you're going to have a lot of fun.
Yeah, so that's basically for most people listening to this podcast, it's today, or it may have even passed. So if you missed the show, check out the GT's Comedy Jam Facebook page. You can always see our calendar of upcoming events, or stay tuned to our future podcast. We'll have many more shows to come. And for now, enjoy our last show. We have some very funny and insightful comics, interviews, and new stand-up sets. Enjoy.
Hey guys, you need a party tent, you need a commercial tent, you need a tent because you have no garage? Well, log on to webtentsale.com, webtentsale.com, and check out our site. This site is designed for commercial tents, party tents, and anything but camping tents. So if you need a tent because you have a party and you need to buy it instead of renting it all the time, you're tired of throwing your money down the drain, well, go to our website, webtentsale.com, and check it out and order your tent right now.
Hello, Dive Bar Comedy. We are back with Sean Lynch. What's up, Sean?
Hey, how you doing?
I haven't met you yet, but you have a very funny look already. I mean,
Thank you. Yeah, it's kind of a Drew Carey if you were a dock worker. That's the kind of look I'm going for. Kind of a blue-collar janitor Drew Carey look, yeah.
I can see that.
It's working for me.
You got, what is that hat called? It's called a something boy, newsboy hat?
It's like an Irish flat cap. It's sort of a like an Irish kind of staple, I guess, yeah.
I like it. I haven't seen one exactly like that. It's like a newsboy hat. People are going to have to Google this. It's...
It's pretty common in New York, but I'm trying to kind of bring it. I just moved here to LA, so I'm trying to, rock a little New York style while I'm here.
You could start a fad. You could start a trend.
We'll see. The Irish doughboy fad could catch on. Yeah, it'd be great.
So I'm getting from you that you might be Irish, and you seem like you're from New York.
Yeah, I'm from Greenpoint, Brooklyn, and parents of Irish immigrants. Yeah.
Have you ever been to Ireland?
Yeah. Many times.
Oh, tell us, for people that have never been to Ireland, what's it like if anybody should travel there, or what should they do?
Well, it's a great place to drink. It rains all the time, and everybody's pretty pasty and freckled. But other than that, the food's okay. It's a fun place.
You also have to be good at deciphering accents, because even if you speak English, some people from Ireland are a little hard to understand for Americans.
Yeah, they are. They got that lintel sort of brogue, But if you grow up with it in your ear, it's pretty easy.
Yeah, I listen to my Siri is set to British, and I also listen to a lot of audiobooks, and they're always narrated by British authors. So I've got British in my ear a lot.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, it's the British accent's slightly different, but yeah, it's actually very. it's a very attractive accent. Yeah, works.
Yeah, attractive accent to make up for what do they say, the unattractive teeth.
Yeah, the teeth are difficult. I don't know why the dentist industry is in like such a bad shambles over there across the pond, but I don't know.
Maybe they just have different value system, because here it's like more important. People will spend. I know broke-ass people who will spend thousands of dollars on their teeth and go into debt for it.
Yeah, those are usually the kind of people who drive a shitty car, but they have $10,000 sneakers. Yeah, that's L.A. for you.
We don't have people here with a shitty car. Here it's like the shitty apartment, shitty life, but a nice car.
Oh, yeah, the car really, I guess the car really is everything out here. It's funny, I got away with never having a car for like 30 years living in New York. Did not need one until I moved out here. It's pretty weird, actually, driving for the first time in your 40s. That's bizarre.
So you never even really drove much before?
Nah. Nobody has a car in New York City. The thing gets stolen in like 15 minutes. Everybody just takes the subways or now you just Uber.
Yeah, you can still Uber here. And actually, I went without a car for like a year here. I rode my bike, Ubered around. But it ends up costing just as much as a car if you're taking Uber all the time.
That's what they tell me. Yeah. So, who knows? It's, there's good parts to driving, there's bad parts. One thing about doing the comedy thing and, having to drive everywhere is you can't really have too many beers during your set or during the show or whatnot because evidently there's a lot of cops around and, that sort of thing. So that can be a little problematic.
Yeah, back before Uber, I remember everybody would go to the nightclub in their own separate car. Nobody went in the car together. It was like 4 girls would each drive their own car, each pay $15 for parking, and then each drive drunk home.
Well, that sounds fair. Sounds like a democratic way to get sloshed, I guess. I don't know. Whatever works for you, that's the important thing, And who knows? You may be putting some nice guy through college with that money that you're spending in the Uber or taxi. I took an Uber over here. Me and my friends, we decided we didn't want to drive over from my apartment. We were vaping and having a couple of beers, and we just thought, why not Uber over? It's only 20 minutes away, so,
Yeah, I'm all for Uber. And Lyft. Don't forget Lyft. And
I hope they're sponsoring your podcast because we've been doing a lot of plugging the past 3 minutes. So.
No, I'm all for the Taxi Association, too, and public transportation, MTA, bus, BART up in San Francisco. What do you guys have? The Tube in London. I'm all for everything.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's good. That's good. Yeah, I tried riding the subways here in L.A. They're a little weird.
Yeah, I actually don't. I was lying. I'm not for public transportation. If I have to sit next to all these creepy weirdos that I see walking down the street, I don't want to sit by them on a bus.
Yeah, like it looks like bad casting for like a defunct Star Trek episode or something. It's just not. It's a little too creepy for me. Like New York City subways are disgusting, but they're familiar. LA subways are just way too full of weirdos. I don't know.
Plus, in New York, normal people take the subway also. It's like a common, normal way of getting around.
Yeah, they're all kind of relatively normal. They're relatively sane. Anybody that chooses to live in Manhattan full-time has to be a little crazy. But, especially this time of year, like, who chooses this? Who says I want to freeze my ass off in, like, a 30-story concrete tower when they could be out in the California sunshine and the palm trees? I don't know. You gotta wonder if everybody there is a little crazy. Now I think I was crazy to live there as long as I have. Because now it's like, it's great out here. It's the middle of winter, and it's like 60 degrees out.
And I'm wearing a very thick coat right now.
Yeah, it's a very cool coat, actually. It's very vintage. I like it.
Vintage because I've had it for a long time. It's become vintage through lots of wear. No, because I've been wearing it for, I don't know how many years. It became vintage while I wore it all the time.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I'm a big fan of vintage clothing, stuff like that. Look at me. That's cool. Yeah, they got some pretty cool vintage shops here in like Melrose or down by Venice Beach. I was checking those out. Those are all right.
I remember I bought this coat in 2002, actually, because I was going to Spain and I needed a coat for Europe, and I've been wearing it nonstop ever since because I really love this coat.
Oh, cool. Well, yeah, listen, it does you a good service. You look great in it, and I wish you the best with your garment.
Thank you. So you came from New York. It seems like you've been doing some California dreaming. What brought you to L.A.?
Well, I have a TV series on Amazon Prime called Comics Watching Comics, and we're doing a season out here. So there you go.
Freaking awesome. All right, so where can people find you online?
Well, you can find me at Amazon Prime for seasons 4 through 7 of Comics Watching Comics, and you can find me on Instagram at geezerlynch.com.
So are you the comic watching the comic, or you're a comic getting watched by the comic?
I'm one of the panelists that judges the comics. There's like a panel of like 5 judges that are all like in the business for more than 20 years, and basically all the contestants that compete nationally for the show are like people who've done it in their first or second year of comedy. So it's like we're trying to find all the new talent out there. We're trying to discover the undiscovered. So.
Wow, maybe you'll discover somebody here at GT's Comedy Jam.
That's the idea.
Cool. All right, thanks for being on our show.
But I'm excited. It's a great night tonight and a lot of great talent. You know what? I like this fucking pole. I feel like Axl Rose, like I should kick it and hump it a couple times. No, I can't do that shit. I'll probably knock myself out of this bitch. Who you calling the fucking cops? Just to clean my big ass up. Outstanding. So, you guys ready for your next comedian? I said, are you ready for your next comedian? All right. So this next gentleman, he's coming to the stage. He's a wonderful, talented, multifaceted. The guy's funny. He also writes television shows, and he's one bad motherfucker. So show some love for the man with the S for the first letter and the L for the last name. Actually, his last name makes me uncomfortable as an African American. But we'll talk about that later. Show some love for Mr. Sean Lynch!
Hey, give it up one more time for Mista See, everybody. There's nothing more uncomfortable than Mista See having to introduce a guy with the last name Lynch, who basically looks like the fat kid from A Christmas Story. Grew up and shot. Weren't you all thinking the same thing? You're like, wow, Ralphie looks like shit. How did that happen? He shot his eye out and then he shot an 8-ball. It's I was driving over here earlier from Oxnard, and I noticed in Oxnard they had a Dairy Queen here, and that blew my fucking mind. I'm from New York. I haven't seen a Dairy Queen since the 70s. And I drove by and I saw the Dairy Queen. They had this billboard in front of the Dairy Queen that says, "This week through Valentine's Day, 10 chili dogs for $10. And I thought, my God, who hates their own asshole that much? 10 chili dogs for $10. That sounds like a colonic dare. Either that or the worst Tinder date ever. Where's the girl that's going to swipe right on that? I would like to see her profile. My name's Deborah. I'm really into Chardonnay, French poetry, and violent diarrhea. Give that girl a ring. Yeah, it's crazy, man. Speaking of asshole, I actually got threatened that way down in Venice Beach about 2 weeks ago. My girlfriend and I were walking past this dude who obviously was pretty messed up, and he asked if he had some change. It wasn't like I didn't have any change, and I wanted to be able to give him some, but I didn't have any. So I walked by, I was like, oh man, I'm sorry. He was like, yeah, fucking handicapped looking motherfucker come back in this neighborhood. I'm gonna karate chop your asshole. And I was terrified. Because first of all, I've already got a crack and a hole there. If that guy karate chops my asshole, I might be in the hospital for a while. And considering that he threatened to karate chop my asshole from 100 feet away, not only is that guy a kung fu master, he's probably also a wizard. So, I don't want Gandalf karate chopping my asshole. I'm very excited about almost exactly a month ago I got engaged. Very, very excited about that. Been seeing this girl for about a year, finally bought her the ring, and the first thing I thought when I got it is, holy shit, if my wife finds out in New York, she's gonna kill us both. The second thought is, well, what the hell, she's Dominican, she'll probably kill me in the next 4 months anyhow. It's okay. I'm happy though. She's great, and I'm just so happy. I'm so happy to be doing it because I'm so happy at my age to be finally getting off of Tinder and Bumble and too many fish and not enough goats and whatever other ways that we young people are trying to get wind up being a severed head that gets fucked in a van somewhere in Van Nuys. You know, It's, let me tell you something. That's a real affair right there, you know? I just don't want to do that. I can't do it, man. I can't get into that Tinder shit, that online shit. I want to have a good story, like my parents had for like how I met the person that I marry or my next victim or whatever the hell, you know? You know what I mean? Yeah, you ever listen to like your grandparents, your parents say how they got met, like how they met? It's always some great story. It's like, I was just after Vietnam and she was working on a Ferris wheel and I gave her a rose and 3 months later your brother was born. You know, like something like that. It's like some nice story. These people fucking around on Tinder, what's their story gonna be like? Swipe, swipe, fuck, crabs, boop. You know, it's like, that's no cat. Can you picture some young cat, my young 20 to 25-year-old guys, my guys in the band, my guys in this bar who get laid on a regular doing the Tinder and all that other shit. Like, it's all cool now because you're all getting laid and having a good time. But what's going to happen when you're 75 years old, 50 years from now, and your grandkids are like, hey, Grandpa, how'd you guys meet? Are you going to be like, well, gather around, children, I'll tell you the story. I was in a bar called the Liquid Zoo, and no one would fuck me. No, not even a hand job from the girl with the lazy eye. No, it looked like it was curtains for me. It looked like I was going to go home, jerk off, eat some Tostitos pizza rolls, and nap and cry. But luckily, I had my iPhone on me, which is how we used to communicate before the Republicans put the V-chips in our assholes. And on these iPhones, we had what was called dating applications, which is how we got laid back in 2018 because our mothers all drank and we all had a wee bit of autism. But so I went out to a dating application called Tinder, and I swiped and I swiped and I swiped through photograph of hoe after hoe after hoe after hoe after more hoes than Santa Claus on Christmas Eve. Hoe after hoe. But swipe though I might, I simply couldn't find a hoe that was DTF. Luckily, on swipe 927, children, I swiped on a hoe, and oh, what a hoe she was. Oh, she had a rainbow tube top with both tits coming out. It looked like her nipples were trying to find her car keys. And she was bent over the front of a Ford Fiesta with the Daisy Dukes down the crack of her ass, and above the crack of her ass was a tattoo that read, "Anything goes." And I like show tunes and hoes. So I swiped to the right, and 26 minutes later we were having sex in a Taco Bell off Sepulveda. Not in the front, like animals. We had sex in the handicap stall, like two lovers in a poem. And as I was ramming her really good from behind, at one point she turned around, and for the first time our eyes met. And she looked at me, and I looked at her, and we knew. We just knew she wasn't pressing charges. And so she said, "Do you mind if we don't finish at the Taco Bell? Why don't we go back to my studio in Burbank?" So I couldn't deny my lady love, so we took a $375 Uber back to Burbank. And when we got there, her roommate was home, and he was some sort of a DJ, and he had an 8-ball of cocaine, so we had a three-way. It was wonderful, and she was blowing her roommate, and I was banging her from behind, and at one point she just started spinning like one of those rotisserie chickens you see at the Ralphs, you know, and we all orgasmed so heartily that I forgot to put a Jimmy hat on my junk, and I blew my baby gravy all up in her womb. And that's how your father was born. Folks, that's my time. Look, we do. You guys are fun, man. Thank you very much. Let me give you back to Mista See. Check out my show on Amazon, you guys. Comics, watch the comics.
God damn, that's some good shit. Nothing wrong with balls to Mr. Sean Lynch. That grandpapa shit was fire right there. God damn. God damn. I could laugh at that shit for 3 weeks straight. You could have did that shit for 45 minutes, and I'd have sat here and enjoyed every second, dog. But you know. But I also did go to public school, so my attention span is... Yeah. That's how it goes. Another East Beach from New York. By the way, us East Coast Jews, we love fucking LA, y'all. Real shit. Round of applause for Los Angeles, man. We never going home. Tell mama I'm never coming back. I love you, Mom, but I gotta go. That's what we do. We go home for vacation. We go home for Christmas. You be home for like a week, 2 weeks. No bullshit. After 3 motherfucking days, I'm giving my mom a side eye like, you cool and all, but baby, you ain't LA. And it's sad, because I love my mama. You know, I'm a black man. You know I love my mama. It's actually so much love, it's uncomfortable. Real shit. Real shit. You know what I'm saying? Because you know we are. We mama's boys. We hang on a mama like this. And stay away from the speaker for feedback. Excellent, excellent, excellent. All right.
Hey, ladies, you want some hot deals on sexy styles? Check out everydaysweetheart.com for everyday great deals on cute and sexy outfits, clubwear, mini dresses, leggings, sexy lingerie. And guys, feel free to stop by too and find something hot for the girl of your dreams. That's everydaysweetheart.com. And for 10% off, use the friend code TAKE10. That's TAKE10. Thanks a lot. Hey there, we are back with Dive Bar Comedy. We have Renaldo Evans. What's up?
What's going on?
And Anthony Casner. Hey, hey.
How's it going?
So for both of you guys, this was the first time that I've seen either of you on the GT's Comedy Jam and doing the Dive Bar Comedy podcast. How did it feel up there doing comedy in a dive bar?
It was fun. That's where I started at, dive bars. So it's like being back at home.
Where's home?
Jacksonville, Florida, Chicago, Illinois. So
They had a lot of dive bar comedy shows.
yes, they do. Tons of them. That's how you get good doing the dive bars.
Well, it's definitely sometimes a rough crowd, but this crowd was actually pretty good and a lot of fun.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun, you know. I like these shows, you got to fight for their attention. That's, makes you better. Only makes you better.
At least they weren't playing any sports. Tonight.
Right, yeah. The Lakers game was kind of on in the background. Nobody was watching it, though, so.
Good. So, Renaldo, I thought about going to Jacksonville, Florida, but I heard it's very cold there. It's not like Miami.
No, it's warm in Jacksonville. It's not cold there. Our winter's over. It's like 2 weeks, so you'll be good.
All right. When did you come out here?
I just got back here again. I've been here for a year starting in February. So February will be a year.
You miss the Florida weather?
No, not at all. It's humid. It's humid in Jacksonville. It's very humid. It's like living inside of an oven. So this is nice. This is way nicer.
It's good for your skin.
I'm not worried about my skin. I'm a comedian. I'm not supposed to be pretty. Just got to be funny. Get out of here.
Yeah, you're a good-looking guy. You had a lot of jokes about being ugly, but I totally agree with that short guys. If you go for a guy, especially if you go for a really short guy, if you'll get a guy that's like 5'4", you can get a guy that no girl will ever go for.
Exactly. That's how women do. The taller you are, the better you are at everything, supposedly. It's weird to me because tall men have done nothing for the world. So, yeah, I'm here fighting for the short guy. That's who I am. And I'm not short. Ladies, 5'10". Thank you. So
I liked your comedy set, but yeah, ladies, I think 5'4". If you go for a guy that's bald-headed and 5'4", you can get a rich guy. But you know what? Honestly, they'll still cheat on you. They'll cheat on you, but they just have to pay.
Exactly. They're paying with strippers and things. Like, tall dudes are going to sleep with your sister or your mom or something weird. You don't want that. Just short dude. Short dudes are where it's at.
I think Ronaldo's being coy. He's 5'10". That's a strong 5'10". And I think you're 5'11", 6 foot.
Not even close to that. Not even close. I'm telling you, I'm short in my city. I'm short. I'm a short guy. Football town.
You know what, though? Short guys, they're all online. They're all 5'8". So I guess that's a cutoff. They will not admit to being 5'6".
No, nobody's going to admit that. Everybody's adding like a half inch to themselves everywhere you go. That's how it is. It's the game.
This is horrible, but or funny. My ex-boyfriend was kind of short. He wore size 8 shoes. He would buy size 10 shoes and put pads in them so he didn't look like he had baby feet.
Oh, my God. That's hilarious. My roommate's kind of like that. He was like a size 7, but he's like 6 feet, so it was cool. He didn't mind, but it was weird. It is weird. But
He's trying. At least he's trying, right? You got to do something. I mean, 2 inches is the world to some, you know?
Girls do false advertising with a lot of like pads and stuff.
Exactly. You guys got butt pads. You got lift-up bras. You got that thing for your waist trainer. You got makeup, you got weave, you got eyelashes, you got nails. You have everything. You are the original cheater of the world. You know what I mean? Just lies. Women are just lies and packages. That's it. So, yeah.
That's true. So, Anthony, wait, you were from Florida also?
Fresno.
No, I'm from Modesto.
Oh, I'll be damned. Yeah, you got a lot of stuff up there in Modesto?
Well, it's pretty similar to Fresno, and my grandma and speaking of grandmas, grandma and aunts and uncles, everybody was from Fresno. So I used to go there like for every holiday as a kid.
Yeah, I say Fresno. It's actually about a town hour south called Visalia.
I know that place too. I drive through it, driving up the 99.
It's the only time anybody visits Visalia, when they're driving through. It smells like cow shit and teen pregnancy over there, man.
Yeah, I smell a lot of cow shit driving home. Yep. Are there any cows in Florida?
Yes, of course we have cows in Florida. It's Florida. We have farms everywhere.
I thought it was just oranges.
No, we're right next to Georgia. We have farms. What are you guys doing? We have horses. We have cows. We have everything. It's Florida. You act like you haven't heard about a redneck fucking a cow in the news. You heard of it.
Does that go on in Florida? Yes. That's a Florida thing. Okay.
That's everything's a Florida thing. We started. Everybody else says, I'm going to try that shit. We started it. Literally.
No, I just spent a lot of time in Miami. There's not any cows there.
That's not Florida. That's not Florida. That's Miami. That's a different place, okay? That's nothing like Florida's Tampa, Tallahassee, Gainesville, Jacksonville. Orlando's now a tourist spot, so you got to go outside of Orlando. That's Florida. Miami is just Miami. Miami's nothing but a bunch of Cubans and Jewish people hanging out in Boca Raton doing whatever the fuck they do. It's not the same.
You know what? After listening to this podcast, everybody's going to want to go visit Florida. You've turned this into a travel show. How are you going to get people to visit Visalia, Anthony?
I would say don't go to Visalia. That's basically, I'm not trying to get people to go there. It's about a town of 175,000 people, about the size of 3 football fields. You don't really want to go there. No need.
You're right about the cows. There's different types of farms. I actually mentioned this last time I drove through. There's different types of farms up there. There's like the nice ones you see where the cows are just roaming free, and it's like probably like the most expensive beef. And then once in a while you'll hit like this smell pocket for miles where it's awful, and you see like a factory farm, and it's the worst.
Yeah, totally. They're all over the place, man. If you take the freeway, it's just like every corner. It's farm city. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and you would think that you would have like a lot of like clean air out there but it actually is a pollution pocket.
Oh, yeah, no, that's why everybody's so messed up in that town. They all drop out of school. They can't stay on the air. They got to be inside.
So, yeah, now we're all in L.A. I'm assuming you guys came out to do comedy?
Yeah, do comedy and writing. That's my thing. So, yeah, definitely. It's going good. Having fun out here.
What's been going on?
I mean, doing tours, doing NACA next month. That's the college tour, so I got to go present at NACA Nationals. We'll see if I can book some colleges. So it'll be fun. Awesome. Well, I think you're ready. What about you, Anthony? You doing anything out here?
Funny you should ask. I actually came out to L.A. to pursue a pool cleaning career. No, I'm fucking around. Yeah, it's just hopping on shows whenever, wherever. This was cool. I know GT from Comedy Chow, a show we run on Wednesdays down at Cabo Wabo Cantina. Plug him real quick. Great show. He's always there. It was an honor to be here, man.
Awesome. Well, you guys were both great, and I hope people can look for you online. Where can they find your social media?
Social media is at Renaldo Evans, same as my website, renaldoevans.com, so you can find me there.
How do you spell Renaldo?
Renaldo.
All right. What about you, Anthony?
On Instagram, Twitter, at Anthony Casner, AnthonyCasner. I got some stuff on Pornhub, too, but you don't want to go there.
Reading Rainbow.
Wow.
The whole thing for everybody.
Wow. No, he had his name mispronounced as he was introduced, which is a big no-no in comedy.
Oh, that happens all the time. I actually like Cessna better. I think I'm going to change it up, actually.
I thought he said Cessna, like that plane.
He sung it. I had no idea. He sung everybody's name. I couldn't tell anyone's last name. I was like, fuck it. We'll meet up afterwards and exchange Instagram contacts and all that. Yeah, you be with 32 Stitches. That's my dog.
Oh, dude. Yeah. Mike D'Angelo, another great comic. Absolutely, man.
My guy. I'm supposed to be a Comedy Chow like 6 months ago. I'm the fucking worst. Don't tell anybody you saw me. I tell them every week. I'm like, I'm coming this week. Never fucking make it.
Oh, yeah, man. Like, roll through if you get a chance, man. Every Wednesday.
I got to.
Cool. I'm gonna have to go sometime because I heard a lot about Cabo Wabo. I heard there's a built-in crowd of people eating there.
Yeah, we got a street team out there. They do serve delicious tacos. We got sorry, I keep saying the F word. We got a live audience every night, about 30, 40 people sometimes. It's awesome.
Well, don't mind the F word. This is an X-rated podcast.
Literally. So yeah, man, definitely come out, check him, and come check me every first Monday, Flappers, in the Yoo-Hoo Room. That's Mondays with Marcella G. So we just put that dope show on, and we are trying to get comics to come out to a club that'll actually book you if you show up, unlike the other clubs who shall not be named.
All right. Thank you guys so much. It was a pleasure having you on.
Thank you.
You guys having a good time tonight? Are you enjoying these comedians? Did you enjoy that band earlier? Goddamn right, and I hope those drinks is heavy thick. Make sure you tip that bartender heavy, and once again, make sure you're all right. So you guys ready for your next comedian in the lineup? Are you ready for your next comedian in the motherfucking lineup? Goddamn right. This next gentleman coming to the stage, he's a smooth, cool groove, and he's a dread brother like myself from a place called Florida. But if you get it, you call it Florida, F-A-L-A-W-D-A, Florida. Hopefully he's not from Duval County, because that might mean he's dangerous, but don't worry about it. Second thing, we got to build a wall around Florida. They keep getting out. But let's not worry about that. I want you to show some love for a great talent coming to the stage, a smooth, groove, cool, badass motherfucking dude, Mr. Renaldo Evans.
Thank you, everybody. This is new for me. I am from Duval County. Oh, shit! Yeah. We're not that dangerous. Don't believe the bullshit. How you guys doing, man? Y'all doing good? That's good. I just moved to LA recently from Florida, and it's nice, man. Like, people down south, we talk a lot of shit about Cali, but Cali's nice, man. You guys got terrific weather. You got a breathtaking mountain backdrop everywhere you drive. You guys got beautiful women with teeth. Like, I'm not used to none of that. You got 32 teeth where I'm from, you get married on the spot, okay? Serious, man. But dating is difficult in Cali, man. I think it's difficult because there's a lot of beautiful women, but they're all superficial. Women in LA are all superficial. They see celebrities way too much out here. Every woman I've met in LA thinks they're supposed to end up with some 6'5", big dick, mythical creature with a pocket full of money. And I'm like, this nigga doesn't exist. And even if he does, we're in LA. He's gay, okay? Let that shit go. No, I'm serious, man. It's weird being out in LA. I was at a bar recently with a chick. She drunk $158 of my money. $158. Yeah. I knew I was gonna get laid that night. I knew I was getting the pussy. At least a phone number. She was with her friends in the club. I was with my friends. I said, hey, before you go back with your friends, let me get your phone number. She was like, oh, no. I was like, no. She was like, no. I know we've been vibing, but you're not really my type. I like tall men. And I was like, tall men? She's 5'3" in heels and likes tall men. I told my homeboy, he was like, oh yeah, man, women in LA be on that bullshit. And that's weird to me that women like tall men. It's like you're bad with math. So let me give you some statistics. Ladies, 90% of NBA players grew up in single-parent households. You know what that tells me? Tall niggas leave. You better get you somebody under 6 feet, okay? Know he's coming home. Know the bills are gonna be paid, okay? Stop trying to get these sexy, flexy niggas. It's weird out here, bro. It is. I was at a pool party with a date. I took my shirt off. She got upset with me. I took my shirt off. She was like, oh. I was like, oh, what's wrong? She was like, oh, I thought you would have abs because of how slim you were. I was like, abs? That's a child's body. Bitch, I'm over 30. I ain't got no abs. What the fuck you into? That's a broke nigga accessory. I got a 401k. The fuck I need abs for? Silly as shit. I know, you guys are with me. It's weird. Like, I thought women like diamonds, vacation, dinner. Like, abs can't buy you that. Guts, receding hairline. Those buys that from hardworking men. Shit's insane. The fuck men need abs for? I don't want a girl with abs. You ever date a size 0? They're the worst. Most boringest bitch in the world. Ask her what she wants for dinner. You should never know. You be driving around for an hour. Fat girl, she got coupons. She know exactly what she want to eat, bitch. Can't take no skinny girl to the movies. That's not fun. She won't let you buy popcorn, candy, nothing. She start rattling off about calories.
Take you a big girl to the movie. She gonna sneak food in that bitch with you. It's an experience. Sick of it, man. No, LA's weird, man. They like sexy, flexy niggas down here, man. I live in Inglewood. I live right next to the Forum. And you wouldn't believe the way women get dressed up. Like Drake recently just had a concert. Everybody was showing up half naked to the concert. Tits, ass, pow. And the whole time I'm watching them walk in, I'm just like, this nigga can't even see y'all. Why are y'all dressed like this? Like, I want to fuck Rihanna. I don't go to a concert half naked, thinking she gonna spot me in the audience like, ooh, girl, I haven't seen that nigga backstage. Which one? A short, average nigga in row 80 back there. Like, the bitch is not doing that shit, man. It's weird, man. Seriously, ladies, don't meet your expectations if you're alone. Get you an ugly nigga. Ugly niggas is where it's at. We make the world go round. All the pretty men of the world, the Michael B. Jordan, the Channing Tatums, the whatever the fuck their names are, they all die. World's gonna keep spinning. Let ugly dudes die. It's apocalypse in this motherfucker, okay? There's no running water, there's no food. Everything you love, ugly dudes invented. Car outside, ugly nigga invented that. Trying to outrun tall niggas. AC, ugly nigga invented that. Trying to keep you bitches cool. Makeup, ugly nigga invented that. Trying to make you pretty. Because you can't have two ugly people in a relationship. It'll never work. It'll never work. Serious, man. Get you an ugly dude. Where it's at. Think about it. If you, like, why would you want an attractive man? Imagine you get caught in a burning building. You think your more attractive husband is coming in to save you? No. He's got options. You're going to burn the fuck up. You're dead right there. Ugly dude, running in that bitch, saving your life. You know why? You're the best thing that ever happened to him. Go beneath the standards, lady. Save yourself. You're an 8, get you a 6. You're a 6, get you a 4. You're a 4, get you a 2. You're a 2, get you some surgery. Turn yourself into a 6. Don't stay a 2, okay? $1,500, you're a bad bitch. Do it. Do it. I'm serious. I'm tired of seeing ugly women with Louis Vuitton purses. Don't do it, okay? Get the job. Just get hit up. Serious. But get you an ugly dude. We're the best thing happening, man. Not any ugly dude to qualify as here, ladies. Get you an ugly dude that's financially stable, that loves you. I mean, hell, why not? Y'all copy everything else Beyonce does. Copy this shit too. Fuck y'all know that nigga ugly? He's a billionaire, goddammit. They don't make pretty billionaires in the world. That's alright though, Jay-Z, that's my nigga, man. That's my role model. I do. I look up to Jay-Z. Every time I see him, I think to myself, if he can get Beyonce, I know I can fuck Rihanna. You know what I mean? I'm 2 credits away from that shit, man. I'm 2 credits away. Just 2 TV. I need 2 TV credits. I'm swimming that pussy. Y'all watch. I don't care. It's weird, man. No, it's weird because people like you come to LA and you find out shit about celebrities you don't want to find out. Like a dude was like, you know, Rihanna got that shit. I'm like, well, I'm gonna have that shit too then. It's gonna be a story to tell, goddamn. I'll tell you something. There's a lot of people with herpes. Everybody ain't catching from Rihanna, okay? I'm in the 1 percentile with that bitch, okay? But before I go, I want to say this. Since we're muting everything that we love in the world, I'm gonna still bump R. Kelly. I don't really give a fuck what he did. You know what I mean? Because it's weird. Because people are like, oh, he's evil. And I'm like, of course he's evil. And they're like, well, he did it to girls. And I'm like, but he was the shit when they slept with him. You know what I mean? Like, when I was 15, you couldn't stop me from fucking Janet Jackson. Get out of here. I would tattoo that shit on my chest. Janet Jackson, 1998, velvet rope to it. But like, you fucked up? Like, of course I did. You're savage out here, man. What else do I want to talk about? I don't know, man. It's weird, man. I be meeting bitches in LA. And I got to give you guys some qualifiers because they get dressed up and everybody lies. When you meet a woman at the club in LA, all you gotta do is ask her what she wants to eat when you leave the club, and you'll know exactly what kind of woman you're dealing with. She says IHOP or Denny's, she got roaches. Leave that bitch there, okay? She says Roscoe Chicken and Waffles, she has roaches too, but she got 3 kids, and nobody's taking care of them motherfuckers, okay? She say Kitchen 24, she's okay, but she's gonna cheat on you, alright? And if she says vegan anything, leave that bitch alone because she's crazy, okay? No one has ever left a club fucked up and high and be like, you know what I could use right now? What? A salad. That's what I want to go for right now. A salad. It's going to cure this hangover. Anyway, my name's Renaldo Evans, and I'm out of here. Give it up for your host. He's coming back.
That's right. Great job. job. Another round of applause for Florida's finest, Renaldo Evans. God damn, that boy did good. That boy good. He a Jay-Z man too. I ain't gonna lie. You know, with all these accusations and shit going wrong, and people caught but not caught, but they caught. I don't know. I guess you want to try to separate the artist from the human sometimes, like Kobe. You know, when he knocked down the shorty, won a couple championships, it's good. You know, R. Kelly, dang, we know this shit since '94. You know what I mean? When he married Aaliyah, then he pissed on a bitch in 2001. Now, I got some bad news. You know your boy Jay-Z made that album with him in 2002. Yeah. But yo, I ain't gonna lie, that album was hot as shit. God damn! Rapists make some good music. That shit is fucked up. It's fucked up! Like, how you gonna be all fucked up? Bill Cosby making great shows. You know what I'm saying? Chris Brown ain't did nothing yet, but until he gets caught, that nigga hot. You know what I mean? Like, yo, what is with fucked up people making so much dope shit? Is it the fucked upness that makes them a good artist? Is that why we're all in here funny? Are you guys, anybody got a pen and case? Oh, you want to admit it? That's okay. It's cool. It's cool. I'm going to have one, because I did do some shit back in '97 when I slapped the booty in the club unauthorized. When I get famous, I'm done. When I get famous, I'm done. That bitch will just show the fuck up. Like back in 1997, Mista See was drunk and I was wearing a red catsuit. And yes, my ass is fat. And Mista See came out the bathroom drunk after being passed out for 2 hours and just saw her walk by. Pa-pow! Complete violation, dog. And then the minute I did it, I was so ashamed of myself. Like, damn, if my mom knew I did that, my sister knew I did that, they'd be like, yo, I fucking failed raising this dude. And the girl, she hit me with some old school shit. She turned around and hit me with a fucking purse, like an 80-year-old lady. Like, boom! Shit was fucking crazy. Anyway, all right. Anyway, back off of that for my admission of guilt, like I'm Charlemagne the God. So, you guys ready for the next talent to come to the stage? Goddamn right, damn right. I like this guy because his first name is my last name, so we probably distant cousins or some shit like that. It's the Ant God fam up in this motherfucking place. Also, one last round of applause for Grandison Crawford one more time. He's an actor, a writer, and a comedian. The next gentleman coming to the stage is one of California's own and finest. You need to show him a lot of love. He got an A for the first letter and a C for the last name. Show some love to the stage for Mr. Anthony Casner.
What's going on? How you doing? Cool. My name's Anthony Casner. Appreciate it. There we go. Stay away from that speaker. How is everybody feeling this evening? Good, good. All right. My name's Anthony. If my teeth formed a band, it would be called Four Directions. And then they'd split up due to creative differences, guys. Okay, that's my first joke. Jesus. Ridiculous. Technically, I'm Dutch-Irish, but a lot of people think I'm retarded, right? Understandable. I get that. I get it all the time. It's fine. I like to tell a little. Say, anybody grow up poor in here? Poor people? This guy? Okay. I grew up very poor. Unfortunately, I realized I was the poor kid in my neighborhood one Christmas, right? All my friends got a Nintendo 64, and I got molested. Okay. It's alright, I was a good-looking kid, man, to be honest with you. It's too bad that didn't pan out, right? I was like, yo, Mom, maybe next year we can just not invite Uncle Daryl over. What the fuck? His presents are weird. I don't like his presents. Oh my god, guys. Any LA natives in here? Anybody from Los Angeles? Yes. Woo! Cool. I've been living here for about 4 years. Can't get used to it. I'm never gonna get used to this fucking place. The other day I sat in traffic for 20 minutes before I realized I was in an In-N-Out drive-thru lane. That ever happened to you guys? What, dude? I thought this was the turn lane. This is bullshit. Yeah. I am, like, since living out here, become a little more progressive, right? Like, I'm a big fan of the transgender community now. Anybody else support? Woo! Cool. Good to hear. That's good. I think it's good. I like how we all got to see that shit go down in our lifetime, right? We saw it. Bruce Jenner successfully transitioned into Steven Tyler of Aerosmith, right? Pretty cool. I thought it was dope, man. Dude looks like a lady, for real now, man. It's so cool. It's awesome. I'm working on transitioning into Leonardo DiCaprio right now. That's what I'm doing. It's in the early stages, right? Kind of like a what's eating Gilbert Grape Leo right now. I get that. It's fine, dude. I'm gonna be a Jack Dawson by Christmas. I'm gonna impress my fucking grandma. Oh my god, dude. Paris Hilton is with us this evening. It's a lovely gown, Miss Hilton. She doesn't think it's very funny. Dude, what else, man? I started dating this girl recently. She's 11 years older than me. Crazy, right? Yeah. Thank you. Appreciate that. It's new. There's some new things, right? Like, mostly the same, but, like, one of the things now is, like, I can't eat ice cream anymore until I finish all my supper, which is bullshit. Right? What are these rules? I don't want these rules. This is retarded. I got in trouble. We were at a bar before Christmas, and it was, like, crowded, right? And on the way out, she accidentally bumped this guy at the bar, and he turns around, and he's like, "Don't touch me, you fat slut." What? It's inappropriate, right? And I got in trouble because I looked at him and I was just like, yo, she's not a slut. Nor is she fat, right? That's fine, guys. I don't give a fuck. That's great. It's just something I wanted to talk about. I suck at dating, man. I'm like really bad at it. I don't know what girls want to hear. I don't. I suck at text messaging. I don't know how it comes off awkward, right? I remember like a couple months ago I got this text message from this girl and it was like, "I really dig dudes with beards." And I didn't know what to say, so I was like, "Me too." I don't know. Never even text me back, right? It was ridiculous. I do have a little story I wanted to tell, and I met this girl on Tinder a few months back, and I sent her the first text message. And if we can, I'd like to read it back to you fine folks so we can try to figure out where I fucked up. Is that cool? Can we do that? Yeah! Fuck yeah, dude. Alright, sweet. Don't get too close to the speaker here. Alright, so this is the first text. It says, "Hey, Kate." Her name is Samantha, by the way, so not off to a great start. Nailed it. I'm kidding. It says, "Hey, Kate, I'm going to watch the Warriors game later and make burritos if you want to come over and have a couple beers. I love you." Yeah, so maybe she's not a Lakers fan. I don't know. What the fuck, dude? Messed up, okay? We had one of the previous comics talking about theme parks. I'm a big fan of theme parks. I don't, however, like the embarrassing-ass pictures they have to take of you now, every roller coaster. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? After the coaster, you go up and look at all the pictures, and I always look like a fucking dumbass, right? It's ridiculous, dude. I was with this really cute girl at Universal Studios, okay? We go on the coaster, everything's fine, and then we go up to look at the pictures afterwards, and it shows her, she's glowing, right? Hair in the wind, just beautiful. And then you look over at me, and I was just blowing the dude on the other side of me, like, what the fuck, right? Never going on a roller coaster again. This is ridiculous. Anybody have grandmas in here? Yeah. Couple people, cool. For the rest of you, sorry about your grandma. I didn't know. I love my grandma. She's getting old, man, but I love her to death. She thinks I'm totally gay, which is fine. I don't know. She had got dementia during my gardening phase or some shit, right? That's the only reason. Every time I go back, she's like, "Anthony, feel free to bring a girlfriend over anytime, or a boyfriend, you know, I'm not judging." I'm like, "Grandma, I'm not gay." She's like, "Oh, is that one of the jokes you tell?" Yeah, she's kind of a cunt, to be honest with you. My other grandma's crazy, man. One day she up and died. was nuts, dude. She wasn't that smart, all right? She was never that smart, though, granted, okay? When she did die, we found her in the living room. I was like, Jesus, Grandma, the one room specifically for living. Really? You're gonna go out like that? Jesus. I wish I didn't give a fuck anymore. You guys ever wish you didn't give a shit, man? You can just glide through life not caring. I think that'd be fun. I wish I didn't give a shit like the people that work at 7-Eleven don't give a shit anymore, right? They don't give a fuck about anything, dude. The other day I walked in there, asked the dude how old the pizza was, and he just said, yeah. What? Wish it would have closed on a better joke. You guys are wonderful. Peace out. Have a good evening. Give it up to your host. This guy's a man, dude. Ton of energy.
All right, everyone. Thanks for listening. Check us out live on our next show, or listen to our podcast every week on iTunes, Spotify, or divebarcomedy.com. I'm Wild Joe. I'll see you next week.
All right. Thanks a lot, guys. Show up to our shows. Please show some support. Thanks.